The Maple Leafs are still alive after a gutsy Game 4 win that sends the series back to Toronto. Hey everyone, welcome into another SUN Sports Roundtable. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Toronto Sun Sports columnist Steve Simmons and Toronto Sun Maple Leafs writer Terry Koshan. And guys, the Maple Leafs lived to see another game, and their goaltending was a big reason why. Joseph Woll making 24 saves in his first career Stanley Cup playoff start. Steve, how confident are you in Woll moving forward if he's the guy?
What I'm confident in is the way the players responded to Woll being the guy and being in net. And I think that says a lot about the group and says a lot about the goalie, is they like this kid and they like him and they're going to play in front of him. And what they didn't want to do last night was embarrass him, embarrass themselves, go out and be swept. And they came out and they blocked shots, and forwards blocked shots, and they were in shooting lanes, and they took away opportunities. And I don't think Joseph Woll made a second save last night. I'm not sure he did. Most of them were clear shots, and he handled them beautifully. But I think the way the team responded to him being in goal and how they took care of little details in the game, the little details that have been missing, frankly, from so many of their playoff games, they were all evident to me last night.
You know what? Not only did he not have any second opportunities, you could probably count the grade A chances Florida had on one hand. So it just goes to what Steve's saying about how the team played in front of him. And I have more respect for it because the guys who were made available in the morning yesterday talked about it and how they had to be good in front of him and support him and everything. And then they went out and did that probably better than anyone would have expected. And when you get that, the goaltending gets that type of support. There were a few shots early on that he was a square to and in position. You could tell the confidence was there and nothing was going to rattle him. And that's the way the game progressed. So not only do you have the goalie's confidence coming in, you have the players' confidence in him. Then they go out and say, hey, not only are we going to say that we're going to support you, here's how we're going to do it. And they really did it to a T. There's no doubt about it. And I would expect we'll see the same sort of effort from both parties on Friday night in Game 5.
There was a play late in the game I thought was rather telling because it's the kind of play you make the difference between winning and losing a game sometimes. Carter Verhaeghe had the puck in the slot area in a scoring position. Luke Schenn is on the ice. For some reason, he's falling to maybe stop a pass or whatever. He just touches his stick a little bit and in doing so gets the puck and knocks it off Verhaeghe's stick. A play like that, if he doesn't knock it off Verhaeghe's stick, could easily have been in the net, and then it's 2-2, and then you're going overtime, and who knows what happens after that. That's the kind of play a veteran like Schenn. I thought Mark Giordano, those kind of guys were making really small, big plays, and those were among them last night for me.
And you know what? It was happening the other end too. I thought the forecheck was good on the Leafs' part, and the other thing too is we're not talking about the Panthers' forecheck today, are we? And why is that? Maple Leafs defense were supported by their forwards, and when they got the puck, there was no, put it bluntly, screwing around with it for the most part. TJ Brodie ran into a few problems at times. Hall had one or two, but they didn't really stick out, and they got the puck out. The transition was good, and I just thought all 18 players on the ice were full marks for it.
So, Terry, it wasn't a perfect game by any means for the Leafs, but they get the job done. And, of course, some of their star players that took a lot of heat in game number 3 step up in game number 4. Who do you still need to see more from heading into Friday's matchup?
Well, from all of them. I mean, last night is just a start. It's just one game. But you have to like what Marner did last night, of course, and Willie Nylander. Austin Matthews was his usual guy around the net. John Tavares had 5 shots on goal and was great in the faceoff circle. So, again, bring that all to another level on Friday night. As much as we liked what they did last night, we have to leave it there. The Leafs will. Once they get home today, they'll have forgotten about it. But all of them have to be better. I mean, I don't think you look at a win like that and say, well, this guy was deficient in areas and here's where he has to be much, much better tomorrow night. I thought they were all a lot more solid than they had been, and 2 of them just happened to get on the scoreboard.
I thought it was the best team effort. And by team, I mean first guy to 20th guy, or 19th guy. If you count the goalie and the 18 skaters. Everybody contributed something somewhere in the game. I then watched Leon Draisaitl play after with the Edmonton Oilers, and he's on fire, and he's playing phenomenal hockey. And I'm watching him, and I'm thinking, why can't, and I'm not saying score as often, But why can't Austin Matthews dominate games the way Leon Draisaitl is dominating games now? And I know he's capable of doing it. I'd like to see him even more engaged offensively. I'd like to see him, and I watch what Draisaitl does when he's not on the ice with McDavid, and he's a monster out there. And he's similar size to what Austin is and similar strength, I think. Those are big, strong, big-bodied guys.
There's a good example. Austin Matthews went to the net at one point last night early and didn't score, of course. And there was I think another graphic that showed where his shots were coming from. And they're from the areas he usually scores in. So, I would argue that the Florida goaltending right now is better than what Vegas is supplying in that series, which is part of it. But I'm with you, Steve. You want to see Matthews be that guy. But maybe we should also give some respect to Draisaitl too and say he just isn't at that level as good as Austin Matthews is. Because if he is, then we'd see it more often in these playoffs. The Leafs have scored 2 goals now in 6 games in a row. But I think it is there. I think it is there too.
And Draisaitl is one of those rare players who gets better at playoff time. He did it last year. He's doing it again this year.
And Morgan Riley's done it for the Leafs a couple of years ago too.
And Morgan Riley's been outstanding almost the entire playoffs for the Leafs.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, the Leafs will definitely need their stars yet again to try to extend their season to a 6th game. But Game 5 set to go on Friday. Let us know your thoughts on the Leafs in the comments section below. For Steve Simmons and Terry Koshan, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time on another SUN Sports Roundtable.